Okay, I think we're live. Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the tapping circle today. I'm just jumping on live and I'm just going to jump right in and we're going to get started. What we're actually going to do now is we're going to, for everyone that's watching this replay later, because I know many of you will watch the replay, we're going to just do a little heart coherence together. So just want to encourage you, if you're in a place where you can just sit and possibly close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, take a deep breath with me together, in through the nose and out through the nose and mouth. Just really relaxing your tongue onto the floor of your mouth. Tune into your heart center. Real quick heart coherence here by just simply breathing nice and slow and easy in and out through the nose and mouth. Tune into your heart center, and if it helps you to just maybe put a little gentle pressure on the heart center, that feels good to me. And then think about somebody that you love so much that as soon as you think of them, as soon as you picture their face in your mind, you get a smile on your lips. This can be a person, it can be a pet, it can be an animal, it can be any being. And just send that love that you have for them out your heart center. Send a beam of a loving energy from your heart center out to theirs. Let that shining light connect your hearts. Good. Just let it be there. Feel the love. Take some breaths. Let's stay here for a couple more breaths together. Feeling your whole body relax. Your mind relaxes. Your brain relaxes. And exhale. Just let your hands drop in your lap if you were holding your hands on your heart. And then just maybe make some micro movements and stretch up with your arms if that feels good. Look up with your eyes. Come back to me. All right, everyone. Good. Heart coherence. I tell you what we're going to do is this format's a little different. I'm not just going to be talking and telling you things and informing you on about topics, but we're actually going to be tapping while we're talking. So this is why it's a tapping circle. So what we're doing is called tapping and talking. It's literally just tapping and talking. So what I'd like for you to do is if you join me and you're watching the replay, just go ahead and start tapping on the side of your hand here. Good. And we're just going to chat now. And what I want to do is I want to talk about the topic of the difficulty that people have when they're trying to create new levels of contact in their life with people who they believe are narcissists. And typically this issue comes up with ex-spouses, ex-partners who specifically you're co-parenting with. So anyone that, it doesn't have to be necessarily a spouse, but anyone you're co-parenting with. And this is an issue because when we talk about going, I know a lot of people talk about going no contact, go no contact. And then, of course, you're thinking, well, I can't do that because I have to be in contact with this person because I share children with them. And I totally get that. Like, I understand that's really difficult. So what I want to do today is I just want to really clarify something. And I want to say that going no contact or modified contact, however you want to call it, doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't mean exactly what you think it means sometimes. I mean, sometimes it does. But the truth is that the boundaries we create around that relationship actually start within us. They start within us. So they start with us really learning how to set boundaries with ourselves. They start with us learning how to love ourselves. They start with us releasing these limiting beliefs we have around who is our source. Because the biggest thing that comes up with these cases is that perhaps sometimes there's money involved and people feel like they need, maybe they're getting alimony or they're getting child support and the narcissist is hanging that over your head. They're controlling you with this. And then it can get real sticky. It's a real conundrum, right? And then you get really wrapped around the axle about, well, I need this money. I can't survive without it. And So I can't make any changes. And I want to tell you, I'm going to give you the most compassionate, loving truth bomb that I can around this is that you have got to let go of that mindset. I am so sorry to tell you this, but as long as you stay in that mindset, you are going to stay stuck because that's how the narcissist keeps you ensnared, is because they want you to believe that they are your source, and they'll use your children to manipulate you, and they'll use your children to triangulate you, and it's a real mess. So the answer is to start with something. The answers unfold naturally as you start to do the work, but starting to do the inner work, and the first thing you're going to want to start with is, well, how do I see this person as my source still? Like, you're probably not with this person anymore, hopefully not. But you're still in a relationship with them, and they're still controlling you, and they're still holding things over your head. So you have to kind of look at it like, well, I really am still in a relationship with this person. How am I viewing them as my source? And how can I start opening up to the idea that I'm my source, and that there are endless possibilities, and that life supports me, and that I can open up and create new resources for myself so that I don't have to feel dependent on this person. So I don't have to feel like I have to capitulate. So I don't feel, like I have to bend and be a pretzel in order to fit whatever it is they think I need to fit, draining all my energy, draining my resources, putting me in constant crisis, making me walk on eggshells, making me crazy, telling me it's my fault, all those things, right? You guys just keep tapping. Just keep tapping. This is how it's done. We're just moving energy. So we're talking about this stuff that's really hard. And as we're tapping, we're moving stuck energy. And that's how tapping works. These points that we're tapping on, and if you don't even know how to tap, just follow along with me, right? That's why I didn't even bother telling you how to tap, because it's so intuitive. But I'm tapping right on the top of my head gently. And then I'm tapping on the end point of the eyebrow. And then I'm tapping on the side of the eye, right here where the bone is, gently. Don't poke yourself in the eye. Right on the bottom here, on this part of the bone, under the eye, under the nose, and then on the chin in this crease here. Collarbone points about 2 inches below the end of the head of your collarbones. You can tap on both sides if you want, or just one side. And then I'm going to go under the arms, where it's about where a bra line is for a woman, or 4 inches below the armpit. And then back to the side of the hand. So let's get back to the topic. I'm going to make sure that you know the tapping points. So the work starts within. The work starts within. So what I'm going to tell you is that, okay, so you've got all your reasons why you can't change this. I can't change anything. I'm stuck. I have to deal with this person. I have to talk to them. They give me money. I have to pick up my kids from their house. I have to deal with their girlfriends and spouses. I mean, whatever it is you have to deal with. And you feel like you can't do anything about it. Well, you can't do it from that external perspective. Actually, I wouldn't recommend you try that. But what you need to start with is you need to start with calming your own nervous system and learning what your triggers are. Okay? You've got triggers. Because you don't want to necessarily think that you have to lock yourself in a box and stay in your house and never interact with people again, because narcissists are going to get you, right? even the ones you know. And the thing is that we're doing the work so we can become impervious to their tactics, because the truth is narcissists have no power whatsoever that you don't give them. They have no power whatsoever. Most of them. I mean, there are really rare cases where maybe this isn't true because it's so extreme, like maybe in the case of someone like a Hitler type person. But I'm talking about regular, everyday relationships here, okay? This person has no power over you that you don't give them. So you've got to start looking at, when I get triggered, meaning they do something and then you're like, oh, you get mad or you get upset or you feel defeated or disempowered, and you're always thinking about it, and it's taking up all your energy. And every time you get triggered, literally, you release energy and it goes straight to that person. You release energy when you get triggered. Emotional intensity. That's what narcissists are going for. They're going for The biggest supply that they can get from anyone is a really intense release of emotion. And mostly that's negative. Maybe in the beginning of the relationship it was positive, but mostly it's very negative. And they don't care if it's negative. Actually, they may even like it better if it's like really intense negative, because what it does is it validates their false self of feeling like, well, I'm so important and special and superior that I can make you this upset. But the thing is, we want to become impervious. So we want to just get to a point where those things don't, we just are neutral. It's like no different than if someone walked by you at the grocery store who you don't even know, some stranger, and maybe said something to you that was kind of rude, and you're just like, whatever, dude. I don't know you, whatever, and you know that it's just total crap. It'd be like if someone walked up to you and said, you're a pink elephant. You're a pink elephant. And you're like, okay, sure. I mean, you're not a pink elephant, right? But they are absolutely like just sure that they are like just, adamant. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. They're like adamant that you're a pink elephant. You are a pink elephant. Well, how silly would it be to get upset about that and like agree with them and think, maybe, am I a pink elephant? Maybe they're right. Maybe all this time oh my God, I'm a pink elephant. Oh no, it's all my fault. I'm so bad. I'm such a terrible person. No. Okay, no. So you're not a pink elephant, obviously. So if this person is telling you things that trigger you, you want to get to the point where you can kind of be like that. You can be like, yeah, okay, sure. Because if you can't just cut off contact with this person, which sometimes that's not possible, and it may be possible one day, but right now, say it's not possible, then all you can do is just minimize the amount of contact you have. So what you do is you just keep the contact you have to the minimal amount and stick to the very facts of a situation. So let me just give you an actual example. Let's just say you're trying to interact in a text with an ex about the coordinating, picking up your kid. And it's a classic scenario where there's drama. So you're getting texts from them. They're like, oh, this and that, and I can't do it at this time. And can you do it this way? And always trying to get out of the arrangement, always trying to not take responsibility, always trying to change the parameters to make you serve their needs, or to make you wrong, or to put you out. And this happens every time, right? And so you're texting back and forth, and it turns into like word salad, right? Where you're just like, this is so confusing. I don't even know what they're saying anymore. And they're throwing in stuff that doesn't even make sense, and it's not relevant. And they're bringing things up that, don't even have anything to do with it. And you're trying to respond to it all. And normally that's the way you would be. You'd be like, oh my God. And you'd be trying to explain yourself, right? You'd be trying to justify and trying to hold them accountable. And you're so mad, right? You're so mad about it. It's not the way. It's not going to work. So here's how you do it. You just reply with like the exact answer of a question that needed to be answered. So if the question was just like, what time should I pick them up? You stick with that question and you don't waver from that. You just only respond to like the factual things. What time should I pick so-and-so up? 12 o'clock, but this, but that. Okay, I'll be there at 12 o'clock. Don't get baited. That's the thing, is don't get baited into the conversation. Stick to the facts. Use the most simple responses you can. Yes, no, thank you, I don't know, whatever it is. And that's my advice to you as a way to lessen your triggers. I'm not saying you won't ever have them, but that's the work you got to start doing. So, okay. So let's kind of break it down here again. So the question was, how do I deal with this narcissist that's in my life and I can't get them out, and I really want to, but I can't because I have to deal with them around my children? Well, I want to ask you this first. Have you done everything you can to minimize like the different ways they can contact you? Okay, there's no need for this person to be able to call you, text you, email you, send you a WhatsApp, send you a message through Facebook, blah, 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 whatever all the different ways we can communicate with people now. Pick one way, okay, pick one way and stick with it, right? Pick one way and stick with it. And I would recommend it to not be a phone call. I would recommend it to be some type of typed, texting, something that is typing, that's not voice messaging, that's not calling, because it's a lot harder to deal with someone when you can hear their voice, because the energy really comes through and you're reading all the emotions and you're getting really wrapped up with their personality when you can hear their voice. It's harder. So texting and emailing is much easier. Now you can get these apps. I know some people use these apps like Family Wizard and something like that, where you can, it's like monitored and it's for legal purposes, and you can just say, hey, this is the only way, this is the only place we're going to communicate about things. And that way, it's it's like a third party almost. There's a third party, and if they do try to reach out to you with any other communication avenue other than the one you have said that you're going to respond to, don't take the bait. Don't respond to anything other than what you've agreed to. Right? You got to be strong about this. You got to teach the narcissist that they can't bend your boundary. Now they'll try and they'll try and they'll try and they'll scream and they'll pound their fists and they'll throw a fit and they'll ghost you and oh my God, they'll throw all kinds of stuff at you. But you've got to be strong. You got to be strong. You got to stick with what you agreed on. Okay. That's my advice for you today. Now, what I want to say is keep on tapping with me. Just keep tapping. I know if you're not used to tapping, this is weird. Tapping and talking, it's awesome. It's awesome, people. So, all right. So here's what I'm going to say to kind of wrap this up. I know this may sound like, oh my God, I can't do that. That's more than I can handle. Well, the truth is, you do some more work before you can implement something like this. So what I'm going to recommend you do is learn how to tap. Okay, learn how to do the Heartshine EFT method, or tap, or just go out there and look out for EFT tapping and just learn how to tap. Do something to calm your nervous system every day. Do something to move that stuck energy. Start shifting your brain, because your brain is in survival mode, my friend, and you cannot think straight when you're in survival mode. So you've got to do something to start shifting yourself out of survival mode, and so you can get your cognitive abilities back. Meditation, tapping, energy psychology, energy healing, exercising, whatever it is that you use. But I highly recommend tapping because it's what's worked for me. And then once you start doing that every day and you start making that part of your self-care and your self-love and your healing journey, it's going to get a lot easier to start putting these things in place. Now, I have a free masterclass on this exact issue on boundaries. And there's some tapping in there as well. So, and there's also a little like a mini tutorial on how to tap. And I've got like a special meditation in there too that you can just listen along with the sound of my voice. And you can listen to it anytime. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know what to do next. Hey, I can't do this alone. Well, you don't have to. You can go get my free masterclass and I'll help you. I'm there for you in the masterclass. And you can also reach out to me. You can work with me in other ways. So do reach out to me. And any other resource that you have, there's tons of resources out there, people. Tons of resources. So just, if you Google this, you are going to find tons of resources. But I do hope that this has helped you today. So let's go ahead and tap all the way through the points now together. And we're going to go all the way to the heart center now. We'll tap the collarbone point. So let's stop here at the heart center. All right. Now, I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And just notice, like, oh, all this like energy buzzing, and we've been talking about all these things, and you probably got a little triggered. Yeah, probably. No, you did. You did. You got triggered. I know you did. I know you got triggered, and that's okay. So what I want you to do now is just breathe with me. I want you to either say this out loud with me, say these affirmations, or just let these words come into your system. And just let them be like your own words, okay? Here we go. I am willing to let it be safe, to start creating new healthy boundaries for myself. And I am willing to let it be safe, to start setting new healthy boundaries for myself and my family. And I deserve to live a life free of fear, worry, doubt, suffering. I deserve to feel healed and whole. I deserve love. I deserve joy. I deserve to live my purpose and my passion. And I choose it now. I don't have to know how it's going to happen. I choose it, even though I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I choose it now. I am willing. I'm willing to receive it now. I'm willing to take one step towards this now. That's all I have to do today. And I am enough right now, just the way I am. Let's take a deep breath. All right. Great. Thank you for joining me today. Again, if you want to join my free masterclass, there's a link here at the description under this video. And I think it's also in my About section on my YouTube channel. Please check it out and reach out to me on my website or leave me comments here. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.